All right, in today's video, we are going to be looking at the top 20 reasons to buy in a 55 and better community here in the South Carolina Lowcountry. So if that's something that interests you, don't go anywhere because we're getting started right now. Do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Lowcountry, whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, or Jasper County? Then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know about everything happening here. My name is David Simcox, host of this channel and a local real estate agent. I get calls and emails every day from people just like you and you and you looking to make their move here, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 3 days, 3 months, or even 3 years, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or even book a Zoom call, all in the description below so I can help you find your Lowcountry lifestyle. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the 55 and better communities here in the South Carolina Lowcountry. And we're not going to specifically talk about each community, but rather we're going to talk about the reasons for buying in these communities. So here in the South Carolina Lowcountry, we've got Sun City, Hilton Head, which is one of the largest and also the most amenitized Sun City in the entire United States. You've got Latitude, Margaritaville, you've got Four Seasons, and you have one called the Haven. All right, so those are our four 55 and better communities here. Now we're going to start off and we're going to talk about the top 20 reasons to buy in one of those communities. So drum roll, here we get started. Number 20, because it's fun. Okay, I use this analogy all the time when people are going on tours with me, and I say, you know, this is a lot like going back to college, only, you know, you're 55 and better, or maybe a little bit older than that, and you get to re-explore all of these passions that you might have had earlier in your life. And we'll talk about some of these other things going on, but you can join clubs, you can join groups, you can make new friends, you can get involved in all kinds of activities that maybe you've always wanted to do. Like for me, I've always wanted to learn gourmet cooking, but right now I'm in the midst of like raising kids and, you know, working and selling real estate. So I don't really have time to pursue that at the level I want. But when I reach that 55 plus age bracket, it's going to allow me and other folks to kind of explore some of those passions that you had earlier in life that you kind of put on the back burner. So fun, fun, fun. All right, now moving on to number 19. It has been proven that you will have a longer health span if you live in a 55 and better community. Now, what do I mean by a health span? Everybody has heard of a lifespan. Lifespan is the actual number of years that you live. But a health span is the actual number of years that you live a happy and productive life. So that means that you're going to enjoy more quality of activities longer into your later years by living in these 55 and better communities. And they have lots of case study that they've documented showing this. And it's not just about getting out and playing pickleball and golf and physical activities, but it's also about the social interaction and getting involved with your peers. And that alone, that social part of it, really helps improve your physical, mental, spiritual, everything. Staying connected to people. It's really, really good for you. It's good for your mental and your physical health. All right. Number 18, resale value. So for our market, these particular homes that are in the 55 and better communities, whether it's Sun City or Latitude Margaritaville or the Haven or Four Seasons, they tend to really hold their value. And so not only is it a good place to live, but it's also a good place to park your money. And you know, they say that a house is one of the best assets that you can buy, and it's also one of the best tools for preserving and increasing your wealth over time. And when you compare the 55 and better communities to some of the other neighborhoods in the region, they have done very, very, very well, you know, preserving their value. So that resale value is definitely something that I think is worth considering. All right, so moving on to number 17, affordability. So I say this all the time and I mean it 100% with my heart. I feel like Sun City and the other 55 and better communities too, but I'll choose Sun City in particular because I love selling in that neighborhood. I feel like it has more bang for the buck than any other neighborhood out there. When you compare the quality of the house, the amenities and just the cleanliness and the overall appearance of the neighborhood and everything that you get, and you compare that to how much you're paying, and then you go look at what else you could buy in Bluffton or Hilton Head for that same amount of money, and nothing else even comes close. So I really feel like the affordability part of this is a huge consideration. Number 16, customizable floor plans or customizable homes. Now, again, this only applies if you're building new, and we have tons of resale options. But if you want to come in and you want to pick some of your structural items, like where this wall is, or do you want a screen porch, or do you want to bump this room out, you want to pick all your tiles, you want to pick all your colors, you want to pick what wood flooring you have, you want to pick whether you have like a gourmet kitchen, what countertop. A lot of these communities are going to give you that option. In particular, Sun City has a great design center. You can go in, you can pick your lot. Do you want a wooded lot, a lagoon lot, a berm lot? You can choose your floor plan. You can make a little changes to your floor plan, and then you go spend an entire day in the design center, and you get to really explore your creativity. And if you're not great with design, don't worry, they have a professional design consultant that will help you make good choices. So you're not like, oh wow, I love purple shade carpeting, and I think that Formica countertop looks great, and let's put it together and see how it looks. They're not gonna let you make crazy choices. They're gonna advise you, but give you some room to be creative as well. All right, number 15, lifelong learning. This is a goal of mine, and it's always been a goal of mine to learn something new every day. And I always feel like if you're not growing, you're dying. And I feel like these 55 and better communities really give you the opportunity to continue to grow and expand your mind. If you look at the calendar of events going on at Sun City or any of these neighborhoods for that matter, there's always like guest speakers coming in. I met some ladies that were out getting ready. The golf course had shut down, and they had a naturalist that was going to take them on a golf cart tour around the various golf holes, and they were going to do a nature tour, and they were going to learn about plants and flowers and birds and the ecosystem and just everything that goes on with that. And that's just one example of the many learning opportunities. So if you are a lifelong learner and you like to expand your mind and your horizons, I feel like these 55 and better communities are just an amazing place to do that. All right, number 14, proximity to shopping and dining and restaurants and activities. So we are here in the South Carolina Low Country, whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head, or Jasper County. We are in the perfect epicenter to jump off and explore the best of the Low Country. So you've got shopping and dining and all kinds of great things around Bluffton. You've got Old Town with all the little cute boutiques and restaurants, and they've got the farmers market every Thursday. But then you're just a hop, skip, and a jump over to Hilton Head Island, which has hundreds of restaurants because it's been a major tourist destination really since the 1950s. And then you're only 20 minutes away from downtown Savannah, which is one of the most sought after historic tourist destinations in the entire United States. They've got amazing restaurants, they've got amazing culture and museums and history tours and all kinds of great things. And then you've got Beaufort just 30 minutes away, which has Bay Street and all these really cute little antique stores and art galleries and restaurants, and you could stroll along the river and you can sit on these swings and look out at the river. And so if you love shopping and dining and activities and events, this is a really great central location to do that. Number 13, lower crime rates. There is no safer place anywhere than inside a 55 and better community. I will say about the only crime that happens in there is I see some people that maybe get pulled over for speeding, but you're behind a gate and the gate has a guard 24/7. And they've got, like in Sun City, for example, I think they have 6 different patrol cars going around keeping an eye on everything. Plus, all the neighbors are watching out for each other. There's virtually no crime in these 55 and better communities. I think the worst thing I ever heard of is somebody that had a little bit too much to drink down at the bar and they like crashed their golf cart into somebody's mailbox. So that's pretty bad crime going on there. But anyway, if you want an extremely safe place to live, inside the gates of a 55 and better community is a really good option. All right, number 12 is the active social calendar. Now, there is something going on every day in these communities. And if I give you a tour of whether it's Margaritaville or Sun City or any of them, you'll see these screens up in the various community centers. And the screens have the calendar of events. But you also have an app on your phone where you'll see the calendar. But there's usually 10 to 20 things going on every day. It could be a musical over at the Performing Arts Center. It could be a live outdoor entertainment or music going on over at Lake Somerset. It could be, a group of people that are all going to do something. But there's an event calendar and there's so much going on every single day that you really can stay as busy as you want to be. But you don't have to be. I mean, you can always stay home and just relax and enjoy your house and enjoy the beauty of that. But if you want to stay busy, there is a huge social scene. There's a huge event calendar, something happening all the time. All right, so we are on number 11, and I'm going to call this one Golf Carts Are the New Sports Car. All right, so usually early on in people's life, it's all about, things and what you can acquire and who's got the BMW and who's got the Mercedes and all of that. But that kind of goes away after you get to those retirement years and you're like, you know what? I'm not trying to impress anybody. But there is one place where people are still kind of sort of looking to show off a little bit, and that's with their golf carts, because all of these communities have golf carts and some people like to kind of trick them out and make them look super cool, or they like to decorate them with their favorite sports team, or if they're from Ohio, they want to show off that they're from Ohio. But so anyway, golf carts are the new sports car, and you can ride your golf carts anywhere. So you can ride them around in the community, you can take them outside the gates, and you can go to the restaurants and the shops and the grocery stores and the doctor's offices and the veterinarian and anything else that you might need. They're all outside the gate and you can get to it by golf cart. Number 10, travel flexibility. So I'm going to call this whole thing travel, because when you live in a 55 and better community, you can lock and leave and go travel. And I see it all the time. People say, I'm going on a cruise, or I'm going on, a trip with the family or the grandkids. And you feel safe leaving your house unattended because your neighbors are keeping an eye on it. And in most cases, like even the landscaping might be taken care of while you're gone. So you can really lock it and leave it and go travel and have fun and really enjoy your retirement years. But if you're into travel, there's also travel clubs in a lot of these communities where sometimes they're loading up and they're going on a bus ride and they're going to the Smoky Mountains, or they're going down to Florida, or they're going somewhere, or they're going on a history tour, or sometimes they even do international trips together. I've heard that they have trips planned to Europe and South America and all these places, and you can go with the other folks who live in your community. And that's just another great way to make friends around people that have something that they're all passionate about. All right, number 9, a sense of community. All right, so one of the things I love about this is you have different groups of people that you are going to build a sense of community with. So at the most basic level, a lot of these 55 and better communities have little enclaves of neighborhoods. So even though there's, like 20,000 people living in Sun City, each little neighborhood has its own name. And each little neighborhood has its own little block parties. And then they have the sign that designates what neighborhood it is. And then when there's Labor Day or 4th of July or different holidays, they all come together and they decorate their neighborhood sign. So you have that sense of community right there in your own little neighborhood. But then you're also going to have a sense of community with the people that are in your different groups that you join. So, there's one guy I met and he was in the ukulele club, and there's 200 ukulele players. And, that's his group. That's where he gets a sense of community. Other people might be joining the gardening club and they're out there at the community gardens growing vegetables. Other people may go to the dog park and they're hanging out with the other people who bring their dog to the dog park every day. Some people like to hang out at the butterfly garden out by Lake Somerset. And maybe it's the pickleball players, but you have this group of people and you really have a strong sense of community. And the other thing is, if you're building new, it's kind of cool because everybody is moving into the street at the same time within the same 6 months. So you really have this strong sense of community for people that are all kind of entering this new phase of life all at the same time. And that really does build a strong bond among those people. All right, number 8, quiet neighborhoods. All right, this is huge because there's a time for everything in life. There's a time for, living in the neighborhoods that have all the kids running around and, riding their bicycles and leaving the bikes out in the yard. And there's a time, maybe when you're out of college where you're living in a big city and you want to go out to all the nightlife and the parties and do all the fun stuff. But when you hit 55 and better, you kind of do like your peace and quiet, and you don't want a bunch of riffraff around, and you don't want a bunch of ruckus, and you don't want people blaring loud music, while they're out working on their car in the driveway or whatever. So these 55 and better communities have rules, and part of the rules is keeping it quiet and peaceful, having the right to enjoy your home and enjoy your environment. And you go outside and you hear the birds and you just feel the wind blowing and just the natural beauty of the surroundings. And having that quiet atmosphere is just so nice, and it really allows you to enjoy your home that much more. All right, number 7, an active lifestyle. All right, so if you want to stay active and you like physical activity, which I do, I'm a very physical person. I own a gym and I work out every day, and I have for 20 years. This is one of the things that would appeal to me if I were moving in there. They've got miles and miles and miles of hiking trails throughout these communities. They've got golf courses. They've got pickleball. They've got tennis. They've got swimming pools. They've got everything you could ever imagine. They've got personal trainers, they've got group fitness classes, they've got yoga, they've got Pilates. I mean, whatever kind of physical activity you want to do, even table tennis. I mean, there's a table tennis room at Sun City. You can stay active. You can get out and play bocce ball, one of the greatest sports to ever come out of Italy. So if you want to have an active lifestyle, this is the ideal place. All right, number 6, access to healthcare. All right. And actually, this comes up as a concern for a lot of people because, if they're moving from New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, they've got their doctors, they've got their specialists back home, and they're like, man, I don't want to leave my doctors. I don't want to have to get reestablished here. So the only thing I have heard is that finding a primary care doctor is a little challenging in the beginning. But I know that there's also concierge services within these communities where they'll help you get connected. So that's something to look at. But the specialists, there are a lot of specialists here, because when you imagine that you've got 30, 40, 50,000 retirees all in one place, you get every medical specialist sets up shop very close by. So heart doctors, all the different specialists that you might need, they all have branch offices right outside the gate of Sun City and just a hop, skip, and a jump from Margaritaville. So there is ample health care here. And keep in mind that even though we're kind of a smaller area, the Bluffton and Hilton Head market, You've got Savannah, just 20 minutes away, which has another larger hospital. You've got Charleston, which is only about an hour and a half away, which again has another larger hospital. And then you also have Jacksonville, which is only a couple hours away. So there is plenty of healthcare available here in the South Carolina Lowcountry. All right, number 5, social activities. Now, I know I kind of touched on this, but I wanted to go into it just in a little bit more detail and give you, just some ideas. So this is more, the social opportunities are more around the clubs. Okay, so in Sun City, for example, and Margaritaville has a bunch too, and so does Four Seasons, and so does the Haven, but Sun City's the biggest, so it's the easiest to talk about. There's like 200 clubs that you can join. Anything that you could be interested in, there is a group of people meeting and hanging out and doing something fun in regards to that activity. I made the comment about the ukulele player, and now there's 200 ukulele players. If you're into football, there's a group of people that want to watch football. There's a sewing club. There is, dog enthusiasts or pet enthusiasts. There's travel enthusiasts. There's the woodworking club. There's literally anything you could ever imagine. There's a club that you can join, and you can hang out with other people that like doing the same thing as you. Now, if there's not a club, you can start a club. And you could develop those leadership capabilities. We talked about lifelong learning, but you could start your own club. And that was like the ukulele guy. He said, I was the first ukulele player. Now there's 200 of us. So it only takes that first person to start and say, okay, I want to start something and get involved here. But there are so many social opportunities. All right, number 4. Accessible floor plans. And what do I mean by that? I mean, these floor plans in these 55 and better homes, they are designed to meet the needs of people, at a little bit later stage of life. So almost all of the homes are 1-story or ranch style floor plans, which makes it very, very easy. Some of them do have lofts, if you want that loft space for when the kids or grandkids come to visit, but it's all, it's all on 1-story living. And if you build a new home, you're getting the latest and greatest floor plans. Everybody wants the open floor plan. You're getting the best materials. You're getting the quartz countertops. You're getting the gourmet kitchens. Even the showers, I'm seeing where they're doing these massive, they call them super showers now. So this massive shower with 0 transition, easy to get in, easy to get out. They have seats in there, and you can even get floor to ceiling tile in there. But if you want a layout and a floor plan that is conducive to the later stage of life, 55 plus, these neighborhoods are ideal. All right, number 3, you are going to have like-minded neighbors, meaning you're going to be living around people that want the same things that you want, right? So if you're retired and you're enjoying your life and you like your peace and quiet and you like to do fun stuff and you like activities, you're going to have other people around you doing the same thing. So we actually have a lot of retired folks that live here in the Lowcountry that don't live in the 55 and better communities. Some of them live in golf club communities. Some of them live in just, traditional neighborhoods that have like a common swimming pool, maybe a bunch of 2-story houses, maybe a bunch of kids running around. And that's okay too. I have plenty of retired folks that say, you know what, I really like living around kids. It makes me feel vibrant. But some folks would rather be around like primarily all the same people that are going through sort of the same interests and hobbies and life stages as them. So if that's you, and if you want to live in a community where everybody's kind of on the same page, then one of these 55 and better communities might be right for you. Now, there are a lot of rules in these 55 and better communities. There's like 90 pages worth of rules, but the rules are good. The rules keep things nice for everybody. Things like you can't have a bunch of junk out in your yard. You can't have 10 dogs and 10 cats. Things that are going to keep the quality of life good and consistent for everyone. So if you want those same like-minded neighborhoods that want the same things that you want, check out the 55 and better communities. All right, number 2, on-site amenities. And I know I've talked about some of the amenities, but I want to elaborate on this a little bit. You have so many things that you have right on the premises of these 55 and better communities. So you have pools, you have spas where you could get massages, you've got restaurants, you've got golf courses, you've got performing arts center, you've got movie theaters, you've got outdoor amphitheaters for live music. You've got so many things. You've got hiking trails. You've got so much going on, and you don't have to leave the community for that. And I didn't really realize the importance of this until I recently took my mom on a tour of Sun City, and she made this point to me. She said, you know, my whole life we've always wanted to live around like college towns and big cities because we like going to shows and we like going to fancy restaurants and we like doing things. But the older we get, it becomes more of a chore to go into the city and find parking. And, you know, she's actually living in Minnesota, so that you got the snow to contend with. And then you got to find a parking spot. And then you have to worry about crime and somebody messing with your car while you're out there. But that doesn't mean that they still don't want to, you know, go out and see a show. And they don't want to go out to a nice dinner. And you don't want to do fun stuff. So this just kind of brings everything to you. So having all those on-site amenities allows you to kind of live your best life and do all the things you want to do, and even things that you've always done without having to travel and go into the city and go to all these different places. All right, so we are at our last and final reason for living in a 55 and better community here in the South Carolina Lowcountry. And I'm just going to call this low maintenance living, okay? I currently live on about 6 acres, and my Lord, it takes about 4 or 5 hours to cut all the lawn, and luckily I've got kids that do that for me now, but all the landscaping. And a lot of folks have come from a bigger house and they're downsizing, or they call it right sizing for retirement. And you know, the amount of maintenance that goes into a bigger house and a bigger property for that earlier phase of life, you've got all the, you know, just all the things that go with upkeeping a house and lawn mowing and everything else. Now you move into one of these communities and they're typically, you know, smaller square footage than what you've been accustomed to, but a lot of them also include lawn care. Not all of them, but even the ones that don't include lawn care, most people are hiring a gardener by this point, unless they just absolutely enjoy it. But a lot of these also will include like power washing, and just living inside a gated community allows you to live in the house, enjoy it, but at the same time, if you want to lock it and leave it and go travel or go see kids or grandkids or go see friends or whatever you want to do, go explore, you really don't have to worry too much about your house while you're gone. So just that lower maintenance lifestyle, I feel like, is just a breath of fresh air for people that have been working and striving and taking care of houses and kids and families and careers and everything else for 30, 40, 50 years. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That is my list of 20 reasons to buy in a 55 and better community here in the South Carolina Lowcountry. Now, if I can help you find your Lowcountry lifestyle, be sure and give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or even book a Zoom call, all in the description below. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest happening here, be sure and like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications so you'll know every time I drop a new video. My name is David Simcox. I am the host of this channel, and I'm a local real estate agent. It's been a pleasure spending time with you today. I hope to meet you in person at some point, but if not, I will at least hope to see you on the next video.